and happy Mother's Day to all. I'm Nicole Hankton, and I'm so pleased to be your MC for Jazz It Up again this year. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here with us for this Jazz It Up brunch for Mother's Day. Just a little bit about me. I am a proud Bay Area native, a strong community member, and I'm also a mom. Over the past year, I've learned so much more about the work that Building Futures does in our community, their work and their fabulous partners in Alameda County, partners like you. Obviously, the past 2 years have been a struggle for everyone, but they've been especially challenging for those who are struggling with homelessness. And for those who live with an abuser, the danger is magnified. So every mother who is taking care of children deserves the best for those children. That's just one of the things that I love about Building Futures. They give people a second chance, a fresh start. The individuals and the families that they serve deserve that opportunity. And you'll see a little bit more about that as we go along. So, as your brunch buddy, your guide, let me break down to you what we're going to be doing today. So first, you're going to hear from Building Futures Executive Director, Liz Varela. Then you'll meet Ginny, a treasured friend and longtime partner of Building Futures. You'll meet 3 very special moms whose stories will touch your heart and really show you the work that Building Futures does and what they make possible with your help. Building Futures board member Carla Dardis will fill you in on how to donate, because that's why we're all here, right? To hear the stories and to give generously. You'll view a remembrance of the late Alameda County Supervisor Wilma Chan, a leader and a mother who served as a lifelong champion for those who are vulnerable in our community. And of course, we'll share a moment of thanks for our generous event sponsors. And then we'll wrap it all up with a fantastic performance from La Mezcla Dance Company. I am so looking forward to that. Now remember, if you're watching using your YouTube account, you can chat with us on the chat box. You'll need to log in so you can chat with us in the chat box on the side of your screen. And you can donate at any time. Anytime during this show, you can just go to www.bfwc.org/donate and give generously whenever the mood strikes you. So we'll be together for maybe about 40 minutes. So let's get started. Here's Liz.
Hello and welcome to Jazz It Up 2022. I'm Liz Varela, Executive Director of Building Futures. Thank you for joining us for our second virtual Jazz It Up. I first came to Building Futures after college 28 years ago as a volunteer. I was drawn to the agency's focus on women and children, and I loved working with the children in the San Leandro shelter and created the children's program, still going strong at our shelters today. This was before my husband and I met and before we married and had kids. I sometimes say that Building Futures is my first child. Being a mother and a parent is one of the hardest jobs. It's made even harder when facing homelessness and/or domestic violence. It is our mission at Building Futures to support mothers through the crisis and helping them find a safe and stable home. Without mothers, none of us would be here, and moms, the mothers we serve, our staff members and supporters, are the beating heart of Building Futures. Again, welcome.
Join us as we honor a very special community leader and mother, Ginny Crudelek, who is also a founding member and current treasurer of the Alameda Homeless Network.
Started a long time ago. Actually through my church women's group. We started out trying to figure out how to work with homelessness in general. And I said it always felt like you were trying to hold a bowl full of Jell-O without the bowl.
Alameda Homeless Network is a cornerstone in Alameda's efforts to combat homelessness in the city. Established in 1988, AHN founded the Midway Shelter, which focuses on serving women and children. And Ginny Crudelek is a founding member who has been there from the start.
Ginny is the face of Midway. Whenever we go out, everybody knows that Ginny is where you drop off stuff on her porch. Even her phone number was tied to the shelter, and so she was constantly answering the phone, helping with Midway. And this is well into her 80s and 90s that she was doing all of this.
Over the last 4.5 decades, Miss Ginny has dedicated herself to fighting homelessness in Alameda. She's become a well-known force in the city, leading the charge to secure funding through events like the 4th of July race. And year after year, Ginny and AHN managed to reach the pledge goals that ensure Midway can remain open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Before we came on to run the shelter, I remember we had to make a list of everything we needed to open the shelter. And I kept saying, where's the money in case we don't get it from the community? I swear to God, AHN and Ginny got everything on the list. Like every single fork, spoon, washcloth, diaper, toothbrush was there when we walked in to start the shelter.
The 4th of July race is special to Miss Ginny because it also happens to be her birthday. And this year, she turns 97. Thanks to her and her tireless work with AHN, there are now a variety of programs, support, and housing for the homeless people of Alameda. And Building Futures would like to take a moment and honor this lifetime of dedication and service.
I've really looked up to her leadership all these years and counted on that strength to get through the hard times and to look forward to the good times.
She just believes in helping others, no matter how she can.
It's a small way of trying to help people. You just do what needs to be done.
What a special person, right? Oh, and happy early birthday, Ginny. Happy birthday. So much of Building Futures' success is credited to our volunteers, community partners, funders, the staff, and the people who participate in the program. Now, for the highlight of this virtual gala, please watch this presentation of 3 mothers who have been served by Building Futures.
Mothers are heroes. Mothers are courageous.
They're tough. They are caring.
To me, motherhood means an act of selfless love.
They are superstars.
At Building Futures, our mission is to build communities with underserved individuals and families across Alameda County, to provide them with safe and supportive housing, free from homelessness and domestic violence. And at the heart of any community, there will be mothers.
Building Futures was founded by a group of San Leandro community members, and they really were seeing the emerging issue of homelessness for families. And the very first families that the San Leandro shelter served was a grandmother and a grandchild. And so I think ever since then, we've developed programs for both mothers and children.
Building Futures' focus on the crossroads of domestic violence and homelessness is no coincidence. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that among mothers and children who are homeless, more than 80% of them had previously experienced domestic violence.
The truth is that domestic violence crosses lines of race, class, gender, ethnicity, and it is largely underreported because it is an issue that is seen mostly as something that is embarrassing to talk about. And those women who are in our shelters, they have fled because there are no other options.
And when they're in a very, very vulnerable state, but they're also in a very sad state because this is not what they had planned for their kids.
Alma is an example of a mother who found herself in need of Building Futures services. Without any family nearby to support her and no ability to speak English, Alma and her then 5-month-old daughter Carolina sought refuge with Building Futures.
Me sentía desesperada, muy triste, pero entendía de que iba a ser era la mejor opción para mí, ¿no?
Alma lived with her daughter at the Midway shelter for nearly 2 years. During that time, Alma worked hard to find a job and even affordable housing, despite her challenges. and the shelter provided the love and support she needed for her and her daughter to achieve their success.
Para mí fue algo muy bonito encontrar adentro de ese lugar. Encontré personas maravillosas, tanto como las trabajadoras, como las compañeras. Mi niña fue sus primeras etapas. Ella ahí caminó, ella para mí, ella lo aprendió todo ahí. Entonces para mí es algo bonito, porque fue su hogar de ella.
5 out of every 10 people residing in Building Futures shelters are children. And among the many services that are offered, the children's programming is the one that focuses solely on the needs of our youngest residents.
We really try with our children's program to provide a space where children can be children. And in that moment, they don't need to worry about where they're going to sleep or what they're going to eat. They get a chance to read a book, play, in a space where staff understand what they've gone through.
While many of our residents find safety and solace in our shelters, the ultimate goal for Building Futures is still to get the people we serve into permanent housing, just as we did with Alma and Carolina. But in the Bay Area, losing your home due to harsh economic conditions can be a common occurrence.
We went through foreclosure and lost our house. We all just amazingly fit into my Toyota Camry and slept in it.
Melsha, along with her 2 sons, lived in her car for nearly 5 months, constantly moving and looking for safe places to park overnight. Finding basic amenities like bathrooms and a place to wash their clothes, particularly during a pandemic, was a challenge. When she finally found Building Futures, it was her first time ever living in a shelter.
When you're homeless, it seems like forever, but we still kept a job, homeless or not, we kept our job. Jay is my youngest. He didn't ever complain. He never has complained about anything. He just rolled with it.
During Melsha's time at the shelter, Building Futures not only provided her with structure and practical life skills, but also helped her find a supportive community that allowed her to heal and find forgiveness for herself.
I always remind them that, hey, we're on your team, you're quarterbacking this. We're just like the playmaker to help support you being successful.
She's assisted in me getting my credit back on track. I would say Miss Sonia became like my best friend.
Now Melsha is permanently housed and has a stable job, and Jay is an honor roll student.
I would say right now it's indescribable, the joy that we felt coming in. Just having your own keys, the program with Building Futures, it has been a blessing to me.
But with rents in the Bay Area skyrocketing and the price of housing becoming unaffordable for many of our residents, even mothers who earn an income can find themselves without a place to call home.
My income wasn't enough to be able to just get a place on my own, even though I was working and stuff, but it was just still not enough to afford the cost of living here in California.
When Kamisha found Building Futures, she had difficulty finding a job and stable housing for herself and her 2 children. But Kamisha never gave up. Even when the first apartment she found through Building Futures was sold out from under her, and she became homeless for a second time, she partnered again with Building Futures to find another apartment. And as luck would have it, a unit became available in the neighborhood she went to high school in.
Well, they have provided me with housing that I can be able to have a roof over my head, to have structure for my kids, water to take a bath, and just heat, air conditioning, things like that. It's important. It made my life a whole lot better.
Kamisha's story is the perfect example of what Building Futures believes, that everyone deserves a first, second, or even 100 chances at creating a better life for themselves, no matter the circumstance. And we will be there to support them every step of the way.
They want to see you do better, and I think that, yeah, of course, the helping with the rent and stuff, but they care.
We want to make sure that when these moms leave our shelters, not only have they felt the love that they received when they was here, but they're able to leave here with that love, to continue to love on themselves, continue to love on their children, and to just really be excited about life again.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love my baby.
Good morning. I'm Carla Dardis, and I am so proud to have served on Building Futures Board of Directors since 2014. You know, I am a Annie E. Casey Children's Leadership Fellow. I was a program officer with the David Lucille Packard Foundation. I actually run a racial justice fiscal sponsor intermediary called Movement Strategy Center. But you know what I'm most proud of? I'm a mom. And I know what it is to struggle, and I know what it is to receive grace and generosity. And that's what my beautiful Building Futures is all about. You know, when I speak about grace, I think about a body of work that I just recently wrapped up, which is to combat human trafficking here in Alameda County. And Building Futures, that has done such good work around domestic violence and homelessness, has even lent itself to that issue, now ensuring that when we talk about shelters and affordable housing for folks that are unhoused, that it includes a set-aside for victims of commercial sexual exploitation. Bravo to Building Future. You know, we serve San Leandro, Alameda County, and the city of Oakland. Your gifts support programs that help our neighbors to have a safe place to call home. And in some cases, this is for the very first time in their lives. You know, these are children, they're moms, they're dads, they're veterans, they're cousins and uncles. They're people that have lived in parks and cars and encampments. And not just overnight, but for many years. You know, to do that work takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of community support. And you have been our support, not just in the times of a COVID pandemic, but way before that. And what we know is the future to come, that you'll be there with us. You know, we have to take measures to keep the folks that we serve safe and to keep our staff safe. You know, we have to make certain that our wages keep up with this rising inflationary costs. We got to make certain that our folks have wellness so that they are showing up authentically and can be there for other people's trauma. You know what? We have to support folks even when they have dealt with the long-haul COVID symptoms. And again, we can't do that on restricted program resources. We can only do that with community support. So we really appreciate you. You know, emergency funding for COVID has ended. And so many of our families are struggling. Even you, our donors, we appreciate the struggle that you're in. And we appreciate the fact that you still find generosity and grace to share what you have. So we really need your help to continue the support to all the folks that we care for. You know, $1,000 supports domestic violence support and education groups. Domestic violence support groups are at 3 shelters and in the community. $750 are moving kits, help newly housed people get off to a strong start. Some will move with little other than their clothes and a few personal items. Pots and pans, towels and bedding, along with cleaning supplies, makes a big difference. $500 is for our children's program fund, supplies and activities at Sister Me Home, Midway, and the San Leandro Shelter. Supervised play, academic help, and emotional support for children. That's what we offer for our babies that are staying in our shelters. $250 is that weekly laundry day. It's conducted by our friendly and knowledgeable street outreach staff members in Alameda and San Leandro. And this is for people living on the street, in cars, in parks, or encampments. You know what $100 does? It really ensures that we have cleaning supplies at all of our sites so that we can always keep people safe. So again, here's how to make your gift. Securely, go online at www.bfwc.org/donate, or you can mail your donation to Building Futures at 1840 Fairway Drive, San Leandro, California, 94577. Or you can call our development director, Anna Maria Mahiri, at 510-357-0205, extension 204. We know that you care about the hardships that families are enduring. We know that for everyone to feel safe, everyone needs a home. You can't begin to heal your trauma and move through the struggle without being secured and supported. Your gift today in any amount is appreciated and greatly needed. In fact, thanks to the generosity of 2 anonymous donors. What you give today will be matched dollar to dollar up to $10,000. So please don't hesitate. Press that button, give your support. You know, what a great way to honor mothers in our lives and those working hard for a new start for themselves and their children. Again, we know it's tough times, but there's always hope, right? Look at the hope we feel when we see a child making a gift or a birthday card or a Mother's Day card, or coming out at the shelters and giving hugs and food, or someone now being housed after being in an encampment. Or better yet, a woman no longer feeling trapped and her children being vulnerable because now they're in safety. So please give as generously as you can. You know, everyone has a place in our Building Futures family. Michelle Obama has said, success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're needed to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need. Do something real today. Touch their lives and futures today. And thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our collective hearts.
Now I'd like to introduce this part of the presentation honoring a mother for whom Building Futures is so very grateful, the late Alameda County Supervisor, Wilma Chan. Building Futures is delighted to thank those who made this gala possible. Here are some words from our very generous sponsors.
Hi, I'm Sally Kay with Amazon. As a local employer, Amazon supports Building Futures because we're committed to supporting families in San Leandro. Everyone deserves a safe place to call home. Cheers to all of you who have done the hard work of making home a reality for so many. Thank you, Building Futures.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Harlow, and I work for Avalon Bay Communities. We are a proud sponsor of today's event and Building Futures. At Avalon Bay, our business is building apartment communities, but our mission is creating a better way to live. We look forward to our partnership with Building Futures so that we can both create a better way to live and support supportive housing.
Hello, my name is Tina Howard. Here at Starwin Credit Union, we are passionate about giving back to the communities that we serve. That is why we are proud to support Building Futures with their efforts to build safe and supportive housing.
Thank you all for being here with us today. Building Futures was created to serve mothers. It all starts with mothers, right? And it's our pleasure to honor them with this gala and the programs that we provide. So please be a part of our family, be a part of the Building Futures Village, and give a generous gift. And guess what? We are saying thank you to an anonymous donor who is going to match all of the donations made for up to $10,000. They're actually going to double those donations. So please give a generous gift that literally changes lives. You can go to www.bfwc.org/donate and give a gift. Well, it's been fantastic. I loved being here with you today, and I hope to meet all of you live and in person at Jazz It Up 2023. Again, thank you for being here, and again, happy Mother's Day.
Hello everyone, hope that you're enjoying the virtual event so far. My name is Vanessa Sanchez. I am the founding artistic director of La Mezcla, a multidisciplinary dance company based in San Francisco. Thank you so much to Building Futures for including us in your program, and thank you so much for all the amazing work that you do. And also a shout out to all of you who are attending. Thank you for continuing to support Building Futures so they can continue to make a difference in the community. La Mezcla is a multidisciplinary rhythmic dance ensemble, as I mentioned, and a lot of our work is rooted in historical context, specifically looking at strong women throughout history. Women who stood up for what they believed in, women who fought for their rights, women who fought for their rights to be heard and continue to do so today. So to kick off our performance, we are going to introduce you all to a dance form related to jazz music, tap dance, which is one of the dance forms that La Mezcla is rooted in. Now, as you're watching this, pay attention to the rhythmic conversations that the dancers are having. Pay attention to the percussion that they're making with their feet and their bodies. And then we'll end it off with an original composition from our live band. Hope you enjoy.